Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We're playing Exactville and we are starting to fill up the city quite nicely. There's still, well, if you look at it like this, there's a lot of open space, but there's high density everywhere, which is good. There's open space alongside the main roads that we might need to upgrade in future. We are starting to get some, no, that's parked cars. But the areas that we're typically not fully developing is the hilly kind of areas. It's just not practical to really develop in detail. So we'll see about how we just extend all of that in general. What I need to add is I probably need a bit of a crematorium somewhere to pick up some of our bodies. Okay, anything else? But we need public transport, not quite yet. I'm not going to fuss with that straight away. Tank reservoir, not sure what that does. Pumping services, freshwater outlet. I think a lot of that is some of the newer stuff in the game. So like the freshwater outlet, I don't think is a mod or an asset that I've been using. Okay, so now what I'm kind of wondering about is a little bit of an area on this side so that we really get this to become nice and busy. So let me switch on topo for a second to see. Yeah, I'm probably gonna run it all the way up like that to see how that does. So let me do that, and let me do that with a nice slope too steep. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so that's not working for us. If we do it this way, it's also a bit of an issue. Man. Okay, let's do it. If we run it straight that direction, space already occupied. Man, that's going to be a tough one then. Okay, hang on. Let's try this standard road. Okay, just like that, right? So ultimately, we don't have a node here, which is what's causing us this problem. That is a bit of traffic. All the buses wanting to make this right turn over here. Okay, any other big traffic areas? Not really. Not really. Let's come back and connect to that sign too. Okay, hang on. I am keen on getting this sorted out. So let's see, how can we do that? Maybe if we try it from this side. There we go. Jeremy Hancock Street. And now what I want to do is see if I can upgrade it. So if I do the big one, and I say don't want to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one, because that one will upgrade. And that looks okay. What I want to have a quick look at is if we look at the junction signs. We're not actually using any junction signs here. Okay, fine. Let's purchase this tile over here. So let's pop out and purchase that one. Yep, there we go. Okay, and then what we can do is we can actually kind of kink this over that way because of how. Hang on, let's just buy the other one too and not be too fussed with the shape we've got over there. Okay, good. Now we can gradually run this one down. But I would actually like a nice big road here. So I'm going to try and upgrade it again. See if we can't get away with it somehow. So that's maybe if we use move it to move this a little bit like that, say out of the way. Stop doing that and see about if we can upgrade it now. We can. There we go. Perfect. So it's a little bit of a acute angle, but it'll work. It'll work nonetheless. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this road, and I'm not going to bother with doing a small one first. I'm just going to kind of see about running this road like so, and like so, and through the valley like that. Got a bit of a cut alongside this hill over here. It's a little bit steeper than I would have liked it to be, but that's fine. And then we've got another step down occurring over here. So what we could do is do a bit of a radial pattern. What I would like to do is line something up with this road, so that we could, this would make for a nice bridge crossing to the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a normal size street. Typically what you would do is on the one side and the other side, you would line up sections of road like this in anticipation of one day actually requiring them to bridge over or become an interchange or something to that extent. Okay, so that's the starting point for something that could potentially become a bridge in the future if traffic requires something like that. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and leave us some space, especially in this area if we do need to do an interchange, but it's going to be tough given the slopes that we've got in this area. Okay, so there we go. That's a bit of a connection that can turn into a bit of a neighborhood area. So we can do something like that. Actually, we're going to do it like all the way like so, but we won't connect it through. This one I'll run a bit straight like this. Look, I'm not doing grids per se, but I do like the idea of having some efficient areas through here. So that's kind of what I have in mind. So let's actually extend this one like this and like that, right? So what this is, it's like it's one of these more modern kind of almost residential neighborhoods or kind of city neighborhoods where you don't have a lot of you're not trying to promote through traffic, right? Through traffic should be on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of keep extending that a little, and we'll see about maybe running something like that. And on this side I'm running this one, huh? So we're doing a lot of kind of dead end areas and things like that. This is a modern it's not modern, this is a more kind of modern approach to planning, not the standard grid, but also an efficient system with some open spaces in between, and you've got limited through movements allowed. Yeah, like so. Okay, and well, let's do something like that, and then we'll link that one back up over there. Okay, so see that's kind of a neighborhoody type area where I don't want to do that one though. So let's see about running this one like this, and I think that might be getting a bit too close though. I don't want to get too close. And the other thing is there enough room in there? So, oh yeah, that should be enough room to bridge over the top of that. Alternatively, what we can do is we can actually take that one out and give us that section for bridging, in which case I'm going to run something like that. Okay, link up that one, but over here we'll almost kind of meet in the middle. without meeting in the middle. And then I'm just going to do the same thing in this direction, like so. Okay, so that's a much more standard type of grid arrangement, which we're now seeing all alongside here. So yeah, we're going to have some of this in our city as well. I don't like this as a general pattern, but we're going to have some of this as well. And we've got some serious fires happening over here. At least we've got the choppers trying to deal with it. Wow, that's insane. Where are all my fire trucks? Come on, fire trucks. Jeez, guys, that's insane. Wow. Well, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. That is a good inn over there. Yeah, to be honest, we can leave some room here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this back a little bit. I want to leave room so we can potentially do a service road into a bigger interchange as we need it. So I'm not going to build up all of that, and I might keep this side clear. Okay, so now let's see about utilities. We're running the water. I'm going to run it all alongside there. I'm going to run it like that. Join the road over there. We probably need to run it all the way through like this too, and all the way through like that. Perfect. Okay, so that has been done. The next thing we need is to run some power into this area. Something like that. And now let us see. Whoa, what's going on? The whole place is burning down. So what we should do is I should probably put one of these guys around here somewhere to dispatch our choppers. Where are our choppers? Are they coming? I'm kind of hearing something, right? Here they come. Massive forest fire. Insane. Losing a lot of stuff. Not sure the traffic is caused by the fire or what. Anyway, let's so I'm wanting to get this area nice and busy. So the first thing I want to do is I want to do residential. I want to also do some commercial. Should be a mixed use kind of area. And if anything, that could be a bit of a bigger road at some point. Even this could be a bit of a bigger road at some point. Okay, so let's start with the first block over here as high density in residential. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few sections of commercial, like so. I think that's pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this area through here as office. And I want to make sure to maintain some open areas so we can link through. Yeah, so that's been done, and I've kind of messed it up over here. I needed to link that through. Sorry guys, I'm gonna demolish that and just make sure we take that out so there's some link up over there. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like this mod because now we've got tons of demand. We'll see tons of traffic flowing through here. Okay, let me quickly connect these areas a little bit. Oh, the other thing we could do. Oh, you know what? This one here, I'm going to do as a bus route. This is also pretty standard practice for you to actually link it through like that as a bus route. So now only buses can travel straight through, which means it's a bit of an effective bus route, yeah, effective bus route area in the future, while the rest of the traffic cannot actually make use of that section of road. The rest, what I'll do is I'll just provide some pedestrian connectivity through here. And to be honest, what we also have, kind of forgot about it, is pedestrianized walkways, right? 1 cell wide, 2 cell wide. That's a pedestrian road through there. Alternatively, you can do something a little bit nicer, like so. Yeah, how's that? That's not bad. We can do the same thing over there, pedestrianized section This could just be a little bit of a walkway through there. Can also do a bit of a pedestrian section through there. Yeah, and a pedestrian section through that. Okay, so now it is looking more like a grid, but from a traffic point of view, it doesn't actually act like a grid. What is going on over here? Let me immediately see about sorting that out. Disable spawning, clear traffic, vehicle restrictions. Thank you. This is actually taxis could probably go through there, and that's it. That's it, guys. No one else can go through there. How are these doing? I just want to see if these are doing. Yeah, I need to do the same thing over here. So give me my vehicle restrictions, please. Yep. Oops, SOS. Keep pressing the wrong button. Let's grab this one. Again, some vehicle restrictions for us. I don't know why it doesn't naturally do that. It's kind of what the purpose of them are. There we go. And this one too. Just make sure to include just the public transport kind of services and emergency services. Good stuff. There we go. That's fine. Okay, but I still also want to. Oh, and there we go. Our first fire. The fires are really a little bit insane. Not that one. I want the snapping tool. Please take off the snapping tool. So let's kind of run a bit of a section through there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Liking that. I'm going to do the same over here. Just going to run it through there. Yeah, that's good. I like that. On this side I want to do the same thing, but I might actually run it just like that. Good stuff. This area will get quite busy. Yeah, so we're not getting any more traffic running through here, so that's good. What shall I do through there? Shall I do same thing, or shall I just do pedestrian section through there? Might be pedestrian section just there. Okay, so just in the middle, right there, straight through there, and that's good. Plant a tree or two alongside it. I'm not too fussed by these kind of things, but I will kind of do a little bit, so that looks like a nice little area. Fine, and see, this is an efficient kind of city block environment that is a grid but is not a grid. Yeah, know what I mean? Okay, so now this will start getting quite busy because this is going to be our main connection through. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I'm liking to fill. I like filling it up so we can see what it does do. Okay, we probably need some more schools in the area. Maybe what we should do is plop down a proper university, and that is not a bad spot for it. Okay, university, there we go. And next to the university, I'm going to do a bit of a modern high school. Oh, it's not fitting. Okay, let's do it on this side. Okay, so a bit of a modern high school over there, and we'll do this elementary school as well, like so. So this is a bit of a educational precinct that we've got going on over here. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to run through a bit of a road through the middle here. I mean a pedestrian corridor through the middle there, and I'm going to add some more trees. We'll get some parks in here too. That's a little bit small actually, so let's get some big trees in here. And we'll pop in a smaller thing over there. There you go, that looks nice. It's not my my key focus, but it doesn't look bad. I think that's looking pretty good. We do, however, have a bit of a restriction now on this road. We can't make it much wider unless we realign it, which is also not possible because these buildings are actually fronting onto it. So what I can do is I can use the other side for further facilities. Do we have something, some other hospital? City hospital, way big. Metro hospital, way too big, all of that. What is this? This is a V crematorium. So it'll actually fit in there. Yeah, that's not bad. So let's do a nice big crematorium in the area. I'm also thinking what can work, while it might not be ideal, universities don't mind running recycling programs and things like that, so we'll pop in a bit of a recycling center in here as well. It's a little bit more industrial in nature. We are getting a lot more traffic. I'm liking it. We could have a bit of a bus stop on this one. And do you know what? Right, we've got the rail. At some point we probably need a bit of a corridor for the rail as well. We might do it through here somewhere. I don't quite know yet. I don't quite know, but we do need to leave a planning corridor for the rail, which I'll keep an eye on. Obviously none of these are those specific corridors. What I want is maybe a little bit of a bigger hospital somewhere. So shall we pop it in? Ah, it's an interesting one. It actually fronts onto a building on the side like that. That's very weird. This one, oh, that's much smaller. This might be better for us to squeeze that into a block like that. Yeah, so that's a nice big hospital over there, and we can actually fill up the rest with some stuff. Show me some police stations, fire stations first, like a Jubilee firehouse. So I'll pop in a bit of a firehouse somewhere over here too. Okay, and finally I probably need a bit of a police station. Don't have a lot. A police department 25, and that one also. So this is similar in nature. What I'm thinking is probably need to connect that street through there. Okay, perfect. So I'll put that through there, and we'll put the police station on this side. Good stuff. Okay, so now fire station, police station, hospital, all the kinds of education. I'm wondering about a bit of a park environment as well. I'm thinking, what is this? Something like that. Maybe all the way on this side. Yeah, something like that. Actually, we want it a little bit more central, to be honest. Okay, so maybe that's not ideal. I don't want to get too close on this side. Don't want to get too well. That side doesn't really matter to us that much. Okay, maybe something like this. Just a little bit off center. Yeah, how's that? That's not bad. Nice facilities at the entrance there. What do I also need? I want to see about popping in some. What else do we have? Something that's nice. A stadium. This is not quite the environment for a stadium. A friendly neighborhood park. A fountain of death, life and death. Okay, something like that. Where shall we do that? Shall we do it? This is a little bit. I think this area is really perfect for it. Just have to put it in here. Let's do that. Okay, that's okay. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I think this area is really looking nice now. Okay, so let's fill it up with some more residential. I think that's pretty decent over there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this area. Gonna do like that and like that. There we go. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to see about getting it on this side too. So I'm going to run it straight like that, and I'm going to do a bit of office over here. See about that, and maybe fill in a little bit of commercial over there. How's that? I'm loving the zoning tool. It's really working well. We need to spot some more water over here alongside there. That's good stuff. Our new area is looking nice. I'm liking it, and it'll start loading this road on both sides now, so that is going to be good for us. We've got concerns with garbage over here, a few spots. We've got concerns with dead people also, so let's see about another crematorium. That's over there. Something like that. Yeah, we don't have anything over here, so put it in there to service this area. Still emptying over here. How's our power looking? Just for the so we're gonna start seeing some brownouts now if we don't do something about it. Other than that, ooh, we're seeing some traffic. Excellent. Something for us to try and solve. Guessing we've got a lot of people trying to get back. Yeah, this is also starting to become a bit of an issue. But I like it. I like it. I want to make it a little bit more busy. Maybe in both, even this section here. A nice big area over here, probably. Do that, get that a little nice and busy. And then see how we deal with it from there. Lots of traffic coming in here as an access point, and that one obviously to that side. So lots of traffic trying to come in here, get into this area, because there's a lot happening. There is a lot happening over here. It's quite good. How many students do we have? Yeah, a lot of students. Oh, we're running out of, we need some more sewage treatment facilities. So that will do that. See about getting some of that going. I think it's in here, right? I'm gonna squeeze. Okay, hang on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a road. All right, let's snap it, please. Okay, I'm gonna run a road like this. I'm gonna leave this section for power, and that section try and get the water on there. So let's get the sewage in there and link it up. Good stuff. Good stuff. And our power is probably going to start seeing some blackouts starting to happen. You okay now? Okay, better. I love it when the demand remains nice and high. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this section as well. But before I do that, let's add a few of these meandering little roadways. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, that works. Something over here. Good stuff. Shall we pop something like this, and like that. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got a few access points into this area, and then what I want to do is run some more commercial along here. Like so, and like so, and like so. Yeah, fill up that area for us. Good stuff. So we've got the hill and the top of the hill and the bottom of the hill. That's getting quite nice and busy over there. That's nice and busy still. I want to fill up this area a lot more to get much more traffic over here, and then we'll start looking at public transport for all of these new sections. I think I should probably be naming these sections. This one can probably extend straight through this way and run up here and potentially run along all the way that way. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea to do that at some point as well. But I think that is where I'm going to call this episode. So my name is ExactChaos, and this has been Cities Skylines Exactly. If you've liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye bye.